Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. We're having a lot of fun. We're going to be working on Vrauk food project today. It shouldn't take too long, so we'll probably get something else done too, I would guess. We'll see. Things always go wrong. Sometimes the small projects take an episode and a half. But we're going to add some more Patreon names to the Patreon Zen Garden today. Thank you all for supporting the Zen Garden experience. And today's Patreon supporters are Twin Whores. Oop, that needs to be a W. I'm back. And I need to craft some of these guys. And Dance Macabre, which is DNS Macabre. Merkber. 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right. And just a reminder, you can get your name on the wall by supporting on Patreon. I am getting to the $2 tiers, but I haven't gotten there yet. So if you support at the lowest tier, you'll get on this wall eventually. But I'm still quite a few more people got added, and I kind of, was a little slower on adding names to this list for a little while. So we will get to the $2 support tier, but we're not quite there yet. So this is still the $5 and up support tier that we're adding names. And then I think I might have to make a second garden, to be honest. I don't know. I guess I can make this one taller as well to make it symmetrical. And then from there, I might just need a second garden if we keep needing space for more names, which I have no problem with. Thank you to all who support. And as a full-time content creator, it's what helps keep me going. I need the support. That being said, never feel obligated to support on Patreon, and make sure you're getting your money's worth for everyone that you support on Patreon. If it's not worth your money, don't support them, and that includes me. Another slight side note just about supporty type things is on Twitch. I do very much appreciate people who use their Twitch Prime sub. And I like to remind people that if you pay for Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime sub to give to somebody. And it doesn't need to be me, but you're wasting the money, or well, I guess, are you wasting money? Someone's wasted. The money's being wasted if you're not giving it to a streamer. So go give your Twitch Prime sub to some streamer, if you have one. And that's all my PSAs for today. Why did I go here? This is not where Vrauk food is. I don't know why I went here. I guess just because we were working on it recently. We can make sure everything's good, but looks like we're still making augs just for the blood to back up. And once that's done, we'll be happy as a clam. But no, I need to go back over here. And then we shall make Vrauks eat their food. But yeah, as far as the concrete names in the base, those are a Twitch points reward, or channel points reward. Like when people are watching on Twitch, they can redeem channel points for their name in game. And so, because I'm not streaming Pi right now, that reward hasn't been able to be redeemed. But we're getting closer and closer to the 200-hour celebration episode, and that will be a chance to redeem channel points for name in game. You can also, if you're around in the channel and you won't be able to make it to the stream, I may still be able to add your name just because I love you. But other than that, that's kind of the only way to do it right now. And maybe someday we'll return to streaming as the main way to do Pi, but right now, I'm in such a good groove, I don't really want to mess with it, if that makes sense. Okay, so we need a bunch of sap. And as much as I could import it on a train, I'm kind of thinking not. This one's actually kind of tricky. When do I get Moss Mark II, by the way? Not for a while. Okay. Not for a while. Alright, well, I'll ignore that then. I just know I need a lot more sap here. We do have sap stage 2 available. So I should probably queue that up. And I'm not making fertilizer yet anywhere. But yeah, we just need a bunch of sap. Like if I switch all this to the other recipe, then we need 1 sap a second, which is what, 6 times 3, about 20 sap extractors. Also, we're missing 2 modules here. 20 sap extractors, huh? Interesting. I can make that work down here pretty easily. And then these guys can switch to the other one. Let's get rid of some flora. These don't need flora anymore. And now that is 1.143 sap, so each of these needs more sap extractors as well. They're gonna need 5 apiece, but are these gonna be more fasterer than these? The answer is no. I'm actually short 0.28 repro complexes. So I actually need 1 more repro complex. Or I can just not. And we'll just remove a Vrauk chamber or 2. Here, let's subtract 1, 2. No, I'm adding. Wait, how do I subtract? Is it control? No, it's shift right click. There we go. 1, 2. So if I take off 2 Vrauk paddocks, I'll get 0.4 a second. I just don't know where I would add a repro chamber right now. I mean, I could add them up here, but then that messes with the sushi loop. I could add one down here, or maybe right here, that has access to the sushi loop. But then it can't be wired in the same way that this one is. I guess it can. This is just measuring eggs on belt. Yeah, let's go full speed. I mean, we need the Vrauks, and so I'd rather not remove 2 paddocks here. So what I'll do is I'll just extend this so that it has access to here. And then we can get some inserters plugged in. And then that'll go down here. And then this will have to do a full belt read. To control the inserter. And that's enabled if egg is less than 160. I guess that doesn't need to be hooked up actually. And then we put everything on the belt. And then this is that recipe. And then we'll need the sap extractors. We're going to need to reposition sap extractors. We're going to need more sap extractors. This. Okay, 5 don't fit. That is unfortunate. Technically 5 do fit. With an overlap is the problem. So then 5 wouldn't fit on that one. And we actually need 6. Well, this is becoming increasingly space hungry for all this sap. But I think we can make it work. Let's also get this powered up from the south there. So we need 6 sap extractors. So I think we need to do something like this. And then we can just feed with an inserter. Okay. So then we need that, and I can... Do I need a roboport? What's going on? Oh, they just needed to charge. Okay. Alright, so then this, we need... I think this one I'll just do a triple, so I don't have to mess with the other stuff. Okay, I'm out of sap extractors. Sap extractors are made with soil and a bunch of other crap. I'll just handcraft them. I was considering putting them in the auto mall, but I think in this case it's easy enough to handcraft a pile. So we've got the soil right here and all the other ingredients. So there's 8. 3, let's grab some more iron. 5, grab more stone. 7, grab more iron. And steam engines. Which are here. Okay. Well, there's a bunch. I need more pipes. And that'll definitely be enough for now. We'll see if it's enough for later too. And the trees should come naturally. And then over here, we'll remove these guys. And it's true I could just rely on the sushi belt for all my sap needs, but I think I'm wanting to do it this way because then I don't need another 20 sap extractors worth of sap on the sushi belt. So if I make these, then I don't need all the sap to go on the sushi belt. But then we do need a lot of sap on the sushi belt. We said how many extractors worth? Like 30? I don't remember how many exactly it was. But we'll get those set up here. And then this can just be a very simple setup here. Let me just copy that. Copy. I don't know how many we need. But we're gonna need lots of sap trees. I get everything in construction zone here. At least. Get everybody powered up. Looking good. Are these really not connected? Oh man, I thought one power pole would be long enough to go between 2 sap buildings, but I guess the buildings are 5x5 and the power poles have a reach of 9, so guess not. Alright, is this enough? Didn't even do the math. Let's find out. The answer is no, we're short 1. We need 1 more. Fair enough. Wait. Did I actually end up 1 short? Like, crafting? No. Come on. There's no way. I'm out? I ran out 1 short of what I needed? That's gotta be a crime. Like, against me. How could this be possible? Now, it's also... Yeah, I think there's somewhere in the network. You know, I might be out of sap trees. Do we have a bot nurse here? We do. Let me go grab some planter boxes, because we got plenty of sap seeds we need to turn into sap trees anyway. Planter boxes. Uh-oh. Stone brick is gone. Fuel is gone. Hot air, I guess, is... I don't know what's happening. But I guess we're not using this hot air anymore, and that is the coke we were using as fuel for stone smelting. Okay. Well, that should fix that problem. For now, I have plenty of extra stone to load into here. To get things caught up. Okay, that should fix my science making. Yeah, I wonder how long it's been stopped. Automation science. Apparently it searches descriptions, because that says automated sap extraction. So it's when I search automat, it brings that up. It's been about 5 hours, so it's definitely a while. Okay. But now I need to steal some planter boxes. How many do I need for sap trees? It's 1 per 5 seeds. So I do need a good few here. Gimme, gimme. Okay, I'll just come back later. For now... I'll just... Oh, this is not the right spot. We put these over here by the bot nurse. Or just in the bot nurse. Okay. And then... get rid of our inventory sap. And then we need to hook this up to... just right here, actually. And I don't know how much I need. 300? The nice thing is it's partially stacked. Why is it not fully stacked? Shouldn't these be outputting 2 globs of 2? I see no reason why these wouldn't output 2 sets of 2. Why are they inconsistently stacked? Huh. Okay. And then Vrauk food. This whole system is eating 0.4 Vrauk food a second? Oh gosh. That's a lot more than I thought it would be. Yeesh. Kind of a lot. I don't even, how much are we making? I'm making... Well, I guess I have to look at it. 32 a minute, so like 0.5, 0.6. Just use the cellulose, because that's limited to 0.4. So that's 2/3 of what we can, yeah. I could add another cellulose maker. Speed up Vrauk food a little bit, because we're not going to have much extra here. Yeah. Might have to. I might just have to. And I think we have enough moss, but did I actually check? Nope, we don't have enough moss. Jeez. 3.81 a second? That's a lot of moss. I mean, are we gonna need another belt? We need one belt side that's almost purely moss. It needs to be more than 50% moss. I'm actually gonna have to do some math to get the counts correct on all this. Because our system is 200. Well, I can just do like 400 belts, I guess. $92 plus 18. I guess that's 210 times 2 is 420. So a half belt would be not 420 items, but 840 items. And moss, we need even more than a half belt. Dear goodness. So I need this to be like 900 or something. I might need a stack inserter for this. I mean, I guess we don't, because we can put everything else on the other side of the belt. You know, if we combine the ingredients of all of them, it's still nowhere near a full yellow belt. So 4.6. So what I need to do is 4.6 out of 7.5 is 60%. Times 4 means I need 2.4 per belt, times the 420 means I need 1030. Jeez. Okay. So I'll do 1050 to be safe. And then flora, we only need it 1.9, so it's about half that, and I'll put flora on the other side of the belt, I think, at this point. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, and flora's double stacked too, which is nice. So that's 1050, so this can be closer to like 550. Alright, and then we don't have enough moss production. I don't know where I'm gonna put that. Is this moss part of the same? No, this is part of a different system. Can I reroute this up? I can. It's possible that this system overall can't handle what I'm trying to have it do, but I'm gonna try. Alright, well, we got a lot going on now. Jeez. Water barrel of 280. Is that right? I think so. I mean, I can go a little higher, maybe 350. And then I think Vraukening food of 200 is fine. Oh, and the output now? Well, the output should be fine. We just have enough eggs on the belt. But, oh, is that enough eggs on the belt? Eggs on the belt go round and round. Round and round. I didn't count the intermediates here. That was the mistake. We've got 2 eggs a second running around on this loop. And on which side of the loop? On the moss side? No, sir. Not on the moss side. Get to the other side. And we're gonna change that to 500. Uh, 500, is that right? 2.04. We need more Vraukening eggs than we need flora, and we've got 550 of that. So yeah, I guess we need 600. This got out of hand a lot quicker than I thought it would. Everything just got way faster. Oh, I need 2 Vraukes. Classic. 2 little Vraukening Mark IIs. Oh, that doesn't work. What just happened? Okay, I think that's done. And now we're gonna get a lot more Vraukes, hopefully. The food's gonna take a little bit to cycle in, for sure. But it'll get there. I mean, the ingredient, we're gonna need, yeah, look at the input rate on all this. I didn't even realize we were gonna need, like, multiple inserters. It's crazy. Totally crazy. All right. And then empty barrels should go on the same side in this case. Alright, what about you guys? Regular inserter fast enough? 0.1, 0.2. Yeah, 0.3 total, maybe. Okay, yeah. Mechanical inserter is plenty fast for that purpose. But all the moss that we need is kind of nuts. Just doubled the moss. Double the moss, double the flora, double the sap. This is actually a bad recipe. It only saves us space. Because, I guess technically power, but I'm not worried about the power. Because, like, it costs double everything. It doesn't even save us. we're adding in Vrauk food, and we're not saving on flora, we're not saving on sap, and we're not saving on moss. And we're getting exactly double the output. So there's no bonus for anything there. That's weird to me. I feel like normally you get a better reward than that. What about the next one? The next one doubles again, but we need 2 Vrauk food. But it takes out the need... We need 50% more flora, so it's still not even much better on flora. And then instead of sap... I guess it removes the moss, but you need bedding instead of moss, which is a whole mess, because you need Yotoi and Grod. Ugh, man. So this one, if we had a bigger complex, like if I was doing this on trains, I would consider just using more repro complexes, potentially. They are huge, though. So... Rock food is saving us a lot of space here, but I don't know if it's worth it. Well, I think the system is mostly good to go. It might take a minute for the moss to get all primed and everything. I think I did the math right on it. Maybe I didn't. It's seeming like this isn't enough yet, but that might be because buildings are still getting filled up? I don't know. But it doesn't seem like we're getting enough moss. Did I do the math wrong? Total moss input of 4.6 means we need, we'll just say 2/3 of the belt. Total belt size is about 210 times 2, which is 420. So we need about 3 items per belt, which would be 12. I mean, I guess 1260 would be a much more like cautious estimate, but we were up to 1050 here. Yeah, I'll just bump it up to 1200, but it should be pretty close to being enough. It just needs to get saturated. It does take a while. I mean, the loop is very slow. The loop is very slow. You know, in terms of meters per second, it moves... These only move 0.5 meter per second. Is that right? Or 2 meters per second. 2 meters per second. So then, that means if the loop is 420 belts, it takes 3 minutes for an item to traverse the whole thing. Is that right? That can't be right. 3 minutes? Like if I stood here, it would take me 3 minutes to get all the way around. I guess I can believe it now that I'm standing on the belt. It looks like they go faster, but when you stand on a belt, you can appreciate how slow it really is. It also looks faster because these items are going the other way. But yeah, 3 minute journey takes a little while for changes to get noticed. Okay, so we'll leave that alone for now. I have a red signal for when Vrauks are at 60 on this belt. Okay, why exactly is that? Because they're not even backed up. Are there really 60? I mean, there might be. But I'm gonna make that like 200. I don't want these slowing down yet. And I also just realized we have this one never stopping. No, it stops when there's enough eggs on the loop. Wait, why do I have... Is there a reason for this? These buildings are uncontrolled. Interesting. So that means I have to control the egg makers. Oh, that's annoying. Wait, why don't I just... Why don't I just measure... I don't know what I'm doing here. Because there's a much... I think a much better solution, which is just to measure... What did I say? 200 Vrauks? We'll just measure the Vrauks on there. Those will put the Vrauks on. And then these buildings can just measure the belt and stop if Vrauk is greater than 200. Or start if it's less than 200. And then this one we'll take from the other side, because that actually makes a lot more sense. Because that's the first place we'll see the Vrauks. And then it needs to go on the outside, which is this side. Okay. Because if we're making 0.4 Vrauks a second, 0.5 Vrauks a second, on this belt loop, how many items is that? Oh, this is so complicated. It's less than 10% of 420 times 4. Less than 160 should be on the belt at that rate. So if I'm pulling them all off the belt, yeah, we should end up with fewer than 100. So having this stop at 200 is totally fine. Where's all the flora, by the way? Okay, we technically have enough. Everything's all weirdly spaced right now. It'll get better over time. Okay, so then the last thing we need to do is control this building based on the Vrauks on the belt. Vrauk less than 200. Okay, that should do it. Everything's gonna stop eventually when we have enough Vrauks, which may never happen. Who knows? But at least we're making a lot of Vrauks now. Sweet. Okay, that did take longer than I thought it would. I thought that was going to be a 2-second project to just add Vrauk food on, but we needed a ton of sap. And we needed much higher item counts than I originally anticipated. But that should result in much higher Vrauk action. Power seems to be doing okay. Cool. Done. Fix stone, gravel, sand, pure sand trashing. Oh, I don't want to do that. Ugh. I don't want to do that. Let's not do that. What else can we do? We can look at the moss turd because we just unlocked that. And why is this taking so long? I guess it's just the py2. We're still slowed down by that. How much py2 am I making for this one? 0.6. Is that gonna be fast enough? I think it will be. I'm making the correct ratios for the next tier of science. I think I'll be okay. Anyway, what was I just looking at? The turd for moss. So, we got some options. We got 4 options. So option number 1, spore sterilization. Unopened capsules with both operculum and calyptra intact are collected to provide spores for the next crop. In such conditions, sterilization is necessary with distilled water and chlorine. Okay, so it goes to be quite a bit faster. Takes off a fourth of the crafting time. So it crafts in 3/4 the time, which means it's 4/3 the speed. So it's 33% speed boost on top of a 50% output boost. And 1.33 times 1.5 is probably somewhere... No, it's exactly twice the output. So we double our output, roughly. I don't know why that's not 36, but at the cost of some chlorinated water? And it consumes the plastic, which is annoying. It's not like a barrel situation. But it is a pretty big boost. The output. So I'm interested. It certainly increases the cost, but then you need way less. And plastic is not that expensive, but it could be in large quantities. I don't know. There's a lot of kind of ups and downs to that. What's this one? Coarse substrate revitalization. The moss growth medium consists of stones with mineral-rich coarse fraction. Typically after the that's just a lot of words. The effect is that they use more energy, and we now get coarse fraction as an additional output of moss. It's just free coarse fractions for more power. Given what we already know about the later recipe for coarse fraction, which is just iron stick straight to coarse fraction, I feel like long term I don't need moss to make coarse fractions for us, because we can make infinite coarse fractions from a relatively small supply of iron, given how easy iron is to make. So I don't think I want that one. For now, I'll get coarse fraction the hard way. Now, what's this? Pollution? Nullifies any pollution? Are you serious? Nobody cares about pollution. So it's more about the other recipes. It also changes the recipe to include a bioreactor. Okay. So adding pollution actually subtracts pollution, because these are negative 35 pollution. So plus 250% means it actually removes more pollution from chunks that you're in, but we don't care about pollution. So really what it does is it allows you to unrefine syngas and natural gas, which is a very odd loop, because natural gas can then be refined into... Wait, where's refined natural gas? I'm not seeing it. Wait, what? Where's the refined natural gas recipe? Wait, how do we make refined natural gas? Oh, you do it from condensates. And then condensates can come from raw gas. So there's not actually a loop here. You can't turn regular natural gas into condensates. So that one doesn't help you loop, but it does. So this moss turd one, what it would help you do is turn all of your raw gas into natural gas, because then you can turn that condensates into refined natural gas, which then can be turned back into natural gas. That doesn't seem that useful to me. This one doesn't seem that useful to me. Not with, to be fair though, there's a lot I'm not seeing, but it's not seeming that great. And then the other one, again, this isn't seeming that great to me because refined syngas isn't that easy to get anyway. You can use methanol, which maybe we can mass produce easily later. Right now we're using activated carbon. And I mean, yeah, it's net positive for syngas, but like syngas is so cheap and easy. I guess it's a way to turn nickel plate and bio oil into regular syngas. I just feel like regular syngas is easy enough that I don't really need help making it. Like, there's already a lot of ways to make it later too. We can just make it straight from coke oven gas. We can make it straight from natural gas. I just don't think we need... Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that one. There could be other things I'm not seeing. Finally, high density culture removes the need for muddy sludge, it seems. Additional energy will be required. Wait, what does that mean? Is it slower? Well, it's the same speed. 80 seconds, 80 seconds, 60 seconds, 60 seconds. Yeah, everything's the same. It just removes the muddy sludge requirement. I don't know why it says additional energy will be required to maintain the biological processes, because it doesn't have a turd module effect or anything. So I'm not sure about that one, but anyway, that seems kind of pointless to me. The muddy sludge is also quite cheap and easy. So really, they're all kind of meh. I think I had looked at this one once before a long time ago, but like, this one has a pretty high cost that I really need to decide if it's worth it or not before I would pounce on it. And this one has a benefit that is kind of small enough that I'm not even really convinced I need it. And the benefit disappears over time. So, yeah. So, like, let's look into our moss farm. Moss, like, let's look into this recipe versus the chlorinated one. Not that one. We want chlorinated water. Yeah, that one. So, well, wait a second. Let me put this back out and then we'll do control click. So those go into one block and then those each go into their own block. And like, let's say we wanted to get 2 yellow belts of moss out of both. What are we looking at for the difference here? have an easy way to get melamine later? Maybe. Oh gosh. Wouldn't want to do plastic that way. I mean, this is probably the easiest way to do it, but this is a pretty large amount of aromatics. Kinda no joke. So we need some light oil and some syngas, which is quite a lot of natural gas, or coke oven gas, or where's our normal recipe? There's also the BioCrud one, which we will need to start doing at some point, which is kind of cool. That does give us a lot of syngas out. But if I'm doing the normal tar processing situation, or coal gas processing. Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, that's not really that hard. This is what? 3 buildings, 4 buildings, 3 buildings, 2 buildings. Oh, I guess I'm not making the light oil in this. Light oil we can easily get from something. What was it? Oh, just from tar. Yeah, I mean, and tar's free. So this is all very, and we even get some of the aromatics from that. So like, this one doesn't even need to be all the aromatics, maybe just 60% of the aromatics or something. 70. So yeah, there you go. Not super crazy here to get all of the, basically making plastic from nothing. This is making plastic from raw coal and tar, both of which are very easy to mine. We get positive things out from this process. I could easily make a large version of this. So, all that to say, the plastic cost for moss is not very much. I can kind of ignore it. The chlorine cost also seems pretty small now that I'm looking at it. The actual... Wait. How do we... It's this one, right? Yeah. Okay. This is easy peasy. I mean, I think this is the one we're gonna go with. I won't choose it until we actually have a setup for it. But it's just not... The relative cost is pretty small at this stage. And I mean, it makes our moss farm half the size. It reduces the stone input by quite a bit. It reduces the muddy sludge input by quite a bit. You know, like making it more efficient. And just to kind of double check, let's see how we feel about it at the next tier of stuff as well. Because, you know, there's a lot of tiers of moss recipes. And I want to make sure, like... Let's say at the limestone tier, we still feel good about it. So that's the limestone tier with no bleach. Wait, why is it not actually filtering? And then the limestone tier with bleach. Sorry, it's not bleach. It's chlorinated water. Different things. Different things. Okay, so this one, we'll say we're outputting 45 now. And... Wait, we actually need less chlorinated water? For 50% more... Oh, okay, yeah, I think this is going to be a fine recipe then. Because it saves us on everything else, including moss farms. All for the low price of still just one. Yeah, I mean, I think that's gonna be my choice. Okay, it won't be my choice now, because we want to set up, you know, whatever that, not distilled water, chlorinated water. But I think that's the route we're gonna go. So we can set up chlorinated water as a long-term goal. Put that to the bottom. Maybe I'll work on this in the next episode. And I think after I do that, I want to get back to actually moving towards py2. So maybe working towards Zippier eggs and Corlexes. So Zippier and Corlex. Have we researched the Corlex yet? No. Oh gosh. I mean, part of the problem with py2 is there's just still so many researches we need to do to get there. We're gonna need Decalin, so I kind of want to fast track this one because we're gonna need to make Decalin and albumin and fetal serum, and there's also the urea back to ammonia option. So let's queue up everything we need for that. Let's look at the turd upgrade real quick before we're done with the episode for fish, and I'll see if it's anything we care about now. Free fish food. Fish that didn't pass in the automated test will automatically be thrown into biomass recycling and be reused to supplement food to ones which passed. Oh my gosh, I love it. That seems pretty good, because that's just free fish food. Oh wait, it does turn one fish into fish food. I didn't notice that part. But then we don't need to make fish food, because this is fish food positive. This is fish food positive. This is fish food positive. But what's the point of fish food? Oh, we use it for some other stuff too. Zyopho. Okay, and fish food's not cheap. Lard, skin, it needs fish as well. So you're actually getting that back for what? I mean, fish food is actually very expensive. So that's a competitive turd right there. Okay, the next one. What is this? It gives a way to turn ammonia into cyanic acid from fish hydrolysate, and then it changes the recipe for fish hydrolysate to be like way more productive. 6 times more productive. Use a tiny % of a cooling tower to do it though, but still. What else is fish hydrolysate used for? Well, you can make fertilizer out of it? Ooh. Dang, there's some good recipes here. And then being able to turn ammonia into cyanic seems pretty strong. I guess we already have coal methane ammonia into cyanic. So that is a lot of coal. Methane I'm not super worried about. I don't know. It's good. It's definitely helpful to make a bunch of fertilizer. But then to know if that's good, I would need to look into all the other fertilizer options. Like, this might be a good way to make fertilizer, but it might still suck compared to the other ways to make fertilizer. Because that does mean that 10 fish would be enough for 6 fertilizer. Oh gosh. So then you start getting into like, what are the ways to make fertilizer? Of which there are probably many. There are many. Ash biomass, bones, urea, blood, or biocrud urea, seaweed. Oh, that's nice. And it uses less urea. I mean, this... It's hard to imagine that this one will be topped by some fish hydrolysate. This is not that bad. Yeah. Okay, I'm a little down on that second one, seeing the other ways to make fertilizer. Though this is still potentially strong. I don't know. Anyway, and then there's dosing pumps, which does what? What is yield? What is happening here? Goes from 1 megawatt to 5 megawatt. Fish eggs are boosted? No, we get fit. What's happening here? We get fish oil as a product. Install automatic dosing pumps to reduce waste and improve fish life quality. Flushed byproducts will be collected and stored for future use. So now you just get fish oil as a byproduct of making fish eggs. But you get less eggs. Oh, but there's free fish hydrolysate? Interesting. And there you're getting free fish oil and hydrolysate, and there you're getting free fish emulsion. But way less eggs, which is kind of important, but then you don't need to make... Oh gosh. But then you don't need as many fish? So 10 fish make 50 fish hydrolysate. So here, you're making 25 fish hydrolysate at the cost of 9 eggs, but you're also making fish meal, fish oil, fish emulsion. The fish oil is like 12 oil of fish. So this is like 3 fish worth of fish oil and 5 fish worth of hydrolysate. So that's 8 fish. And the emulsion is also made from hydrolysate. So that's equivalent to like 50 more hydrolysate, which is another 10 fish worth of output. So I guess this one's a lot better than it looks, just because these are the things you're making fish for in the first place. And then fish meal also only comes from fish hydrolysate. Huh. This one might be actually the good one. But then you don't get the free fish food. Interesting. Okay, those both actually seem really strong, the first and the third. The second one could... If this is like a crazy good sleeper recipe for making cyanic in the late game or something, then this one could be better, but at least on first blush, these two are going to be stronger. Because getting free fish food is just really strong because of how annoying it is, and then that means you can much more easily mass produce fish. Oh, I didn't even notice, you also get, it's a faster recipe. Not by a ton, but a little bit faster. 10% faster. And then this one is also 10% faster, but on the egg side. But yeah, like here we get, I don't know if this one's that much better. You get 15 fish oil instead of 5 fish eggs. 15 oil is only worth about 1.5 fish. So like this, it's not that good yet, but I think it's pretty good later. Yeah, at least for right now, the fish food one would be far stronger. But once we're getting the free fish hydrolysate, that seems pretty strong. At the cost of 6 eggs. 15 fish hydrolysate is worth about, what is that, about a third? So about 3 fish. So that's about 3 fish. This is another fish. So that's like 4 fish worth of stuff at the cost of 6 eggs. And not having to then process the fish. I think this one's starting to about break even, but then once you get into the next two, they're just really good. And this one's getting you fish meal. It's unlocked by fish 3. What is... That's unlocked by fish 3 as well. Okay, never mind. You'd get it at the same time. I wasn't sure if it got you fish meal before you would unlock fish meal normally. But that's costing you 7 eggs, and now it's obviously getting you more value. The previous one was getting you like 5 fish worth of value or something. 4 fish. And now we're getting more oil, more hydrolysate. It's only costing us 7 eggs, but the 5 fish meal is worth a lot because that's... I mean, it's hard to say exactly how much it's worth. It's 50 hydrolysate in a flat sense, but... Alright, I need to be done with the episode, but I'm thinking long term, I'm gonna go with dosing pumps. But it's hard. This is another one I'm definitely gonna wait on, like Moondrops, where it's just like, I don't really need any of those right now. And Moss Farms, I'll probably go with that one eventually. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna call it an episode there. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.